What if the real reason you feel stuck in life isn't because of your circumstances, your lack of opportunity, or the people around you, but because of the way you speak to yourself when no one else is listening? What if your inner dialogue, your invisible beliefs, are quietly shaping your destiny more than anything external ever could? By the end of this video, you'll discover how the ancient Stoics uncovered a path to real transformation by first mastering the internal voice that rules us all. Most people think that change starts with action, more discipline, more productivity, more effort. But the Stoics knew the truth runs deeper. Before you can change your habits, your routines, or your results, you must first examine the silent assumptions running your mind. These are the invisible scripts. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. I'll be happy when. They sound innocent, but they are poison disguised as truth. And until you challenge them, nothing changes. Because even the best strategy in the world won't work if your mind secretly believes you're not worthy of success. The Stoic approach was radical. It didn't begin with doing. It began with seeing. Seeing the way you interpret events. Seeing the meaning you attach to failure. Seeing the emotional storms that cloud your perception. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, wrote not about commanding empires, but about commanding the self. He knew that no external victory could outweigh an internal defeat. That's why he trained his mind every day, not to crave praise, not to fear judgment, and not to be deceived by temporary emotions. If you're enjoying this video and want more powerful insights, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with someone who needs it today. Ready to take Stoicism to the next level? Grab our exclusive Stoic Quote a Day ebook and receive 3 free surprise bonuses to boost your clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. Click the link in the description now and start your transformation, one powerful Stoic insight at a time. You might think the Stoics were emotionless. That's wrong. They felt everything, but they refused to be ruled by those feelings. They understood that pain is real, but suffering is optional. The moment you decide that your reaction is more important than the event itself, you become free. Free to choose calm over chaos, understanding over anger, progress over pride. The path to real growth is uncomfortable because it forces you to admit a difficult truth. The biggest obstacles are not out there, they're inside. It's the stories you tell yourself when things go wrong, the excuses you cling to when discipline fades, the blame you cast on others when things get hard. Stoicism doesn't allow that kind of hiding. It holds up a mirror, and in that reflection, you see who you are and who you could become. But this self-examination isn't about shame. It's about ownership. You stop saying, "I can't because," and start asking, "What can I control?" You stop wishing for circumstances to change and start changing your response to them. That shift may seem small, but it is the beginning of your personal revolution. Because the moment you stop blaming and start owning, you become powerful. Imagine a life where you're not a victim of moods, criticism, or doubt, where you can be surrounded by chaos, yet feel untouched. That's not fantasy. It's the result of mastering your internal state. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, had nothing in terms of wealth or power, but he had everything that mattered: inner freedom. He taught that no one can harm you unless you let them into your mind. Your dignity, your peace, your clarity, those are yours to protect. But how do you begin to change that inner world? It starts with awareness. Start noticing your thoughts, especially the automatic ones. When something goes wrong, do you instantly blame yourself or others? When you're alone with your thoughts, are they kind or cruel? Most people live on autopilot, never questioning the mental habits they've built. But the Stoic stops, observes, questions, and then rewrites. Next comes discipline. Not the discipline of schedules, but the discipline of perspective. Training yourself to pause before reacting. To see difficulty not as punishment, but as a forge for strength. Seneca wrote that adversity reveals the quality of a soul. Anyone can be calm when things are easy, But true character is forged in fire. And fire, for the Stoic, is not to be feared, it is to be welcomed. The challenge is that this work is invisible. No one sees your mental rewiring. No one applauds your inner battles. But over time, the results become impossible to ignore. You stop panicking over delays. You stop taking things personally. You stop needing to be understood. And instead, you start building a quiet, steady power within. One that doesn't shake when life does. And when that inner world begins to shift, everything changes. Not because the world became easier, but because you became stronger. People notice you're calm. They wonder how you stay so composed. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It was choosing every day to respond with awareness instead of reaction, to lead your thoughts instead of being led by them. This is the Stoic path. It doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence, for patience, for courage. It invites you to stop waiting for the world to fix itself and start fixing the only thing you were ever meant to master, yourself. And the beautiful irony is that when you do this, the world around you often improves. Not because it changed, but because your lens did. And so we return to the question that began this video. What if the real reason you're stuck isn't outside you, but within the story you're telling yourself? The answer, as you've now seen, is that it almost always is. But that's not a curse. It's a gift, because it means you have the power to change it. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are the awareness behind them. And that awareness can be trained, sharpened, elevated. In the end, Stoicism is not a theory, it's a daily practice. It's the art of mastering your mind, one thought at a time. And when you commit to that practice, you won't need validation, applause, or control, because you'll already have the one thing everyone is secretly searching for, a mind that cannot be shaken.